death the end or just a new beginning? What happens when we die? It's a question that has fascinated humanity for centuries. Across centuries, religions, scientists, and philosophers have tried to answer this question. Death begins when the heart stops beating, blood no longer flows, and oxygen can't reach the organs. Within minutes, the brain shuts down and electrical signals fade. Consciousness, as we know it, disappears. Cells begins to break down and the body begins its natural return to earth. But what happens after this moment? That's where the science ends and belief begins. Different people see different meaning in death, and perhaps that's what makes it so deeply to human wonder. In today's video, we will explore the mysterious and fascinating concept of life after death, from ancient beliefs to modern science, and what lies beyond the veil. In ancient Egypt, death was not seen as the end, but the beginning of a journey into the afterlife. The Egyptians believed that the soul would live on in another world, much like this one, but eternal. To prepare for that journey, the dead, especially pharaohs and nobles, were buried with precious treasures, food, clothing, and even furniture. These were thought to be useful in the next life, just like this one. Items were placed inside elaborate tombs, such as those found in the Valley of Kings. Even servants and pets were sometimes buried with the deceased to continue serving in the afterlife. The famous tomb of King Tutankhamun contained thousands of priceless items, including a solid gold mask, all carefully arranged to ensure a smooth journey into eternity. In Hinduism, death is not the end. It is just a transition, a step in the eternal cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. This is known as samsara. At the heart of this belief is the concept of Atma, the eternal soul. Unlike the body, the Atma doesn't die. Instead, it leaves the physical form and is reincarnated into new life. What kind of life your soul is reborn into depends on your karma, the sum of your actions in this and past lives. Good deed can lead to a higher birth. Wrong action can lead to a lower one. The ultimate goal is to break free from this cycle to attain moksha, where the soul reunites with the divine and never to be reborn again. In this way, Hinduism teaches that the life and death are both part of a spiritual journey, guided by karma and aiming towards eternal freedom. In Christianity, death is not the end. It's seen as transition to eternal life. According to Christian belief, when a person dies, their soul continues to exist. But where it goes depends on their faith and action during life. Those who have lived with faith in God and follows His teachings are believed to enter heaven, a place of eternal peace, love, and presence of God. But for those who have rejected God's path, the soul may be separated from Him, a state known as hell. It is often described as a place of spiritual suffering, the result of turning away from God's grace. Christian teachings also speak of Judgment Day, when soul will be judged by God based on their faith and deeds. Ultimately, Christianity sees death as a doorway, not a final chapter, leading either to eternal reward or separation, depending on how one has lived. In Islam, death is not the end of the soul, it's a passage to a different state of existence. When a person dies, their body is buried, but their soul enters a waiting realm called Barzakh. Barzakh is a spiritual barrier, a resting place between this world and the next. It is where the soul remains until the day of judgment. During this time, the soul is aware and experiences peace or discomfort based on how they have lived. Muslims believe that on Judgment Day, each person will be judged by Allah for their faith and action. Those who lived righteously will enter Jannah, paradise, a place of eternal joy. Those who rejected guidance may face Jahannam, hell, a place of purification and consequence. In this way, Islam teaches that soul continues its journey after death, resting in Barzakh, awaiting a final return to the Creator. Modern science sees death as the end of biological function. Your heart stops, brain shuts down, and consciousness fades. But here is where it gets interesting. Near-death experience or NDEs. These are vivid, often life-changing events reported by people who have come close to death but yet survived. These experiences usually happen when during extreme trauma, cardiac arrest, or deep unconsciousness. People who go through NDEs often describe a feeling of leaving their body, floating above themselves, or moving through a tunnel of light. Some reports seeing their loved ones or feeling a powerful sense of peace, warmth, or love. Others speaks of life review, seeing key moments from their past flash before them, or hearing a voice tell them it's not yet their time. But scientists believe NDEs could be caused by brain chemistry, a lack of oxygen, or psychological coping mechanism. But for many who experience them, the feeling is deeply real and often spiritual. Whether medical or mystical, near-death experience continue to raise profound questions about consciousness, death, and what if anything lies beyond? Some scientists suggest these are brain-based hallucination triggered by oxygen loss. Others propose radical ideas like quantum consciousness, proposed by physicist Roger Penrose, suggesting consciousness is part of the universe itself and may not die with the body. Is our consciousness just neurons or something more? Quantum theory opens strange doors. Some physicists speculate the multiverse theory means infinite versions of us exist. Could that be a jump from one universe to another? Still, these are hypotheses, not facts. Could quantum physics holds the key to understanding life after death? Some modern thinkers suggest that consciousness may not simply vanish when the body dies, and instead, it might be linked to a strange world of quantum mechanics. In quantum theory, particles can exist in multiple states at once, and reality itself seems to be changed based on observation. This has led some scientists and philosophers to propose that the mind and consciousness could exist outside the body, possibly in quantum state. The theory of quantum consciousness, proposed by physicists like Roger Penrose and Stuart Hameroff suggest that consciousness may arise from quantum process inside brain cells and might even persist after death. Much like energy, which never disappears, only changes form. While these ideas are controversial and not proven, they challenge us to think deeper. Could death be less of an end and more of a transition to another form of reality? People who have had near-death experience often say the same things. I felt unconditional love. I saw a tunnel of light. I didn't want to come back. Those stories come from people across cultures, religions, and ages. Coincidence or a simple glimpse beyond? Many come back transformed, more compassionate, less afraid of death. Whether you believe in heaven, rebirth, or nothing at all, one thing is certain: death gives meanings to life. Instead of fearing it, we can focus on how we live. Be kind, be curious, be present, because life, no matter what comes after, is a miracle in itself.